In the country of Lesotho, which is a country within the country of South Africa, they have about 2 million people, 30% HIV infection rate. I was laying in bed thinking, this is way too big for one church. The people in your community care about sickness, disease, the poor, children. The mayor cares about, the newspaper cares about. And so, because they care about it, let's start asking them to get engaged. For our first trip, we took the mayor, we took the head of our public utility, our water division, we took the deputy mayor and the former mayor of another city and a businessman. I just said, hey, I've been to Africa, I've seen this, I'd like you to go with me. And I'd like you to see what's going on over there and see if Tacoma could be the first city in America, as far as I knew, the first city in America to adopt a city or a region in Africa. You have in this area of 70,000 people, 1,200, 1,300 kids that are receiving sponsorships, 1,000 school desks, 500 caregiver kits. You're talking about water, sustenance farming. Before, when I would be out in the community, people would say, you're the church that has that neat Christmas pageant. And now they say, oh, you're the church that does that AIDS thing. Start thinking, how can we do something in our city? Make an appointment to see the biggest hitter in town and say, what could we do together? Not for your church's sake, but for the community's sake. Don't just start funding it, start feeling it.
I once said to the congregation, I want you to sit down and I want you to tell me, what do you think we should do? And they said to me, we must get involved with people with HIV and AIDS. Just thinking of the problem in Swaziland, it's a fairly big country, but with many, many people who are infected with AIDS. And I just said to God, I can't do anything. I'm one person, and what can I do to make a difference to this country? God gave me a vision for what to do in Swaziland. I was able to take this vision to the people, and the people were willing to accept this vision. We finished the training of our 9th group of home-based caregivers. It was just amazing how God started bringing these people to us. We never go out and ask people to be trained. It's always them coming to us and asking us, would you be willing to train us? At the moment, we've got about 350 people in this project going out to the community and helping them. We're reaching about 1,000 people all in the southern area of Swaziland, the southern district, which is known as the Shiselweni district. That's where we are working. What's wonderful of doing evangelism in this way is that we can go into a home and say to a person, you know, I've been visiting you for the past 6 months or so. I've brought you clothing, I've brought you medicine, I've brought you food, I've brought you many things that you needed. Today I want to give you something else that you also need. Would you be willing to accept this? And obviously the person is going to say yes, and that's an ideal opportunity for us to share the gospel. The vision of our church now is to become the hands and the feet of Christ. God can use a small church and a very poor church to really make a difference in the country. You don't need huge resources. You don't need thousands of people. You don't need to be a mega church. If you do what God tells you to do, we believe that the church is there not for itself, but that the church is there for the people outside. And those are the people that we are trying to reach now.
There was a video that was shown by World Vision on AIDS in Africa. God kind of took that video and just kind of broke my heart. So often, you know, we hear people complain about the church and say the church just needs to wake up and do something about crisis like this. And I'm not sure the church needs to wake up. I think the leaders need to wake up. We definitely as a congregation focus a lot on it's not about us, it's about others. The community that we support is called Sekuru. It's about 6.5 hours outside of Nairobi. The main focus, first of all, is just getting clean water for them. And so the first initiative that we took was to raise money for water wells, helping them with food source, AIDS education, and health. We went through a 3-week process of just casting the vision. That first weekend, 750 kids were sponsored, and as that time has gone on, it's over 2,000 now that are sponsored, and people just really take ownership in the kids that they're sponsoring. What we're focusing on now is micro-enterprising, and so the goal was to try to raise about $600,000 to help start in essence, a bank there in that community. Small loans could be given out so people could do business on their own, and the goal is self-sustaining. I think too often people think this is going to be hard, and it's not. The people are ready to do it, and so just throw it out there and let them run with it. I think as leaders, we need to get out of the way sometimes and not slow down or stop or prevent God from doing what he wants to do in our churches and through our churches. And we need to open our eyes and wake up and realize that God has entrusted us with invaluable resources that can make a difference in lives throughout the world.